Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we got a packed house today. Welcome to a Friday edition, the first Friday show of the 2021 season. Welcome to hashtag Fade to Black. I am your host, Donnell Monte Morris. I'm here joined with Anita Joe, aka Cheech, joined with Beast Johnson, and we got special guests in the building. Beast, take the honors.
Bruce Price.
On behalf of Bruce Price, as well as Mr. Christopher Stevenson, aka Big Bear.
What's happening, man?
These two gentlemen are the faces and the actual brains behind the daddy duty that I've been speaking of so highly. And you're wondering who are these individuals? Well, now here's your chance to see. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
All right.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Hey, happy to have y'all on the show.
Thank y'all for having us.
Hey, we got my one of my bell buddies, Wadey. How you doing, Wadey? Hey, Wadey. What that guy say, Wadey? Tune in. It's going to be a crazy ride. But before we start any show, Beast, there's tradition that you always do before we go into the open state.
Gentlemen, on behalf of our other panelists and correspondents, our African brethren, we have a little greeting that we do. And I'm going to say it, and your response is simply, hey. And the greeting goes like this. Imani Wado. And you respond with, hey.
Here we go. Now we can officially start this show on the right foot. Let's go and start off with our opening statements, but it will be sponsored by our proud sponsor at cheddarboypopcorn.com. Real cheddarboypopcorn.com, the only Black-owned popcorn store here, not only here in Washington, but in 5 other states. If you want to get the nice 12 flavors of popcorn, go to realchildboypopcorn.com. Order yours today. But now, let's get into these opening statements, and Teach, you will start us off.
Good evening, everyone. How is your Friday going? Mine is absolutely perfect. And I just thought about something today. As you all may know, that because of the COVID, I'm now working from home. And this morning I had the thought, I have a pajama job. A pajama job. I can do my job in my pajamas. And I wonder how many other people who were forced to transition to working from home actually work in their pajamas and feel good. All right, that is just a little thought for the day. But what I want to say is family. The man and the woman is the beginning and the foundation of the family. And when that man and that woman comes together, they bring forth the next generation. And it is said that it is the family that is the strongest institution in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, let's examine our family. How strong are we? Where can we strengthen ourselves? Are we up to the task? Are we willing to set aside our egos, set aside our petty differences, and build the Black family? And I yield the floor.
Hey, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's real powerful right there.
For real.
What I got to say to that, man, I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me personally, I know, man, it's been a struggle, but you gotta put that pride to the side, man, for your family to get to the level where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because that pride can stop you from progressing You know what I'm saying? And keep you at the same level instead of going to the next level because you be selfish in ways, not wanting to hear what your partner got to say and other things like that. So definitely, man, like I like for me, man, it's definitely a thing for a man to be able to learn how to put that pride to the side because we can be prideful creatures at times.
Yeah.
We all know that, man. But once we do that, man, I think for families, me speaking for me, for families, once you do that, I think once you put your pride to the side, man, to be able to allow more things from your partner and allow your partner to do more things, man, and things like that, I think that'll take everything to the next level. So it's definitely, man, put that pride to the side, man.
One word I want to say to describe family is love. Like when you think about real family, you know, that's what it is. It's unconditional. You go through things, you know, the ups and downs. You've been through things with the people. Some of the worst arguments that you have might come with your family, but at the end of the day, you know that when you need something or if they need something, you got them. That's what makes you family. And sometimes it's more than just blood relatives, but also that's what it should be, relatives. And the men definitely should carry that on, you know what I'm saying? Be the ones to pass that torch on, you know. So we do got responsibilities and stuff to do. Take control or take the lead in a way, you know what I'm saying? Show by example, but with love.
Yes.
For sure.
Man, see, this is, you know what? This is what happens when I'm either in the middle or I'm the last person that do an opening statement of final thought. People be saying some powerful stuff, and I gotta back it up. Good grief! But you know, I'm giving it a try. I'm gonna give it a good old army try. But other than that, I just want to welcome everybody to the show, and I just want to do a cheap pop for the hashtag Fade to Black show, ladies and gentlemen. Tell a friend about this show. Share this show with anybody and everybody you know, even if they got a difference of opinions or views. They need to watch this because this is us, Black folks, giving our views and our takes on topics that affect us. We're not here just for gossip or talking about sports, even though I got another sports show, but you know, that's for a different story. We talk about issues that's going on in the streets, that's going on in the communities, and how local, state, and federal governments affect us every day, including movies and pop culture. That's what this show is all about. Do we talk about a little bit of gossip and movies? Yeah, we do. We have fun here. But most of all, you hear our stories. You not only hear the struggles, you hear the solutions to getting out of that struggles. And I'm sorry about that. My girlfriend broke me. But other than that, that's what this show is about. But then also, we want y'all to engage as well. Comment on the show. Go to our Facebook page, hashtag Fade to Black. Just look it up, like, engage, comment on every video, or even if you want us to talk about a topic, hit us up, message us, say we want you to talk more about this topic, or we just want to know how we all doing. That is great too as well. So like I said, share this show, like our page, and engage. And hopefully, not hopefully, you will enjoy the show today. I guarantee it.
Well, since I got to be the last one, me being the oddball I am, I'm at a little levity. And since we talking about family, I'm gonna talk about that crazy cousin that's always about some drama, but always put a smile on your face. Black Twitter. God bless him. If Black Twitter has shown us anything, it has shown Black folk knew exactly what to do and how to carry themselves when it came to this ignorance. This shit ain't had nothing to do with us, and we was not about to involve ourselves. And that picture of them Black folk hiding out in the Capitol, like just posted up like they hiding from the teacher on the smoke break, beautiful. Just so beautiful. But I wanted that to be my opening statement because that just tickled me. And I wanted to share that tickleness and that little bit of levity to the world. So let's enjoy this show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. This is something that I wanted to talk about last year, but here we are, and also we got guests to talk about it. I know me and Teach, we actually kind of had talked about many moons ago. So let's go ahead and get it started. I don't even have my freaking book of notes for the show. I apologize for that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm gonna open it off as this. Now, first of all, who is in an interracial relationship other than myself?
Define interracial relationship. Okay, here's the question I asked that.
Yeah.
Define interracial relationship, because individuals that are involved with interracials, are they themselves defined as an interracial relationship? Like if I'm dating a girl that's half white, is that technically considered an interracial relationship?
And see, and that's what we're gonna try to break. We try to understand it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna try to break that cycle as best as we can for this show, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there, because people think that it's just a fetish, but then you got people that say this is a legit relationship. So let's go and look at the fetish side, because like I be seeing a lot of videos on TikTok where you got a lot of, you know, the conscious black folks that are coming out saying, well, it's just a fetish. You know, white women just look at black men as, you know, this sex object. Like, are they really big down there? You know, not trying to get vulgar on this show to anybody, so I don't want to pass no offense here because we got a woman present. But they want to know do we really got it like that? Are we well endowed? You know, do we really do things like that? Yeah. So, do you feel that it's a fetish? And you the floor to whoever. So the floor is open.
I don't know, man, if it's really has anything to do with a fetish. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just something that got to do with the person. That's who they like. That's who they like. If that's who they fall in love with, that's who they fall in love with. I don't think who you with has nothing to do with fetish. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Yeah. So that's just my take on it.
Love is love. This is real. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
I believe when we speak on things like this, we're always speaking about the finite rule, like that 1%. When you talk about the fetish, there are some people that they've been programmed with that taboo
stereotype.
So it's like, yeah, exactly. The stereotypes, the stigmas, and no vision, no local representation. Like when you talk about white girls, I went to a white school my freshman year, and there were actual white girls up there that you see on TV that had never really been around no black dude. They might have been like around 1 or 2 black guys, and they were the quote unquote alternative or token black guys. So the average status quo black guy they never met. Right. And then they run across them, and then you see that you do get that vibe of fetish, but you kind of understand it too when you actually on that case by case deal. Yeah. So I do agree overall. There it's down to who you want and what you want. If I find more love and understanding with this woman who happens to be of another race, that's just where my heart and where my particular love need to be.
Exactly. That's it. I agree.
All right,
how you feel, Mama?
All right. I had said that I was going to be laid back in this conversation and let you all just kind of go, and I just lurk in the background. But I'm compelled to come to the forefront. And this is a very interesting topic. And we can go from A to Z and from double A to double Z. Depending on where you stand. Now, I want to say this is my position, and this is a serious position, and then I'll go to my play position. So my serious position is this: 500 years ago, the European came over to Africa and saw that he could build his wealth upon the black man.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought him to America for his labor, and he extracted the labor, and he became wealthy. Europe became rich for the first time in the history of Europe because of the slave trade. They had never seen that type of wealth. Now, slavery is over, but the white female has emerged as the new master.
Okay.
And now the white female positions herself very easily to the up and coming black male and secures his wealth through marriage, having a child, and divorcing him. We have seen the story told over and over again throughout the sports and entertainment. So the white female has positioned herself, because slavery is no longer over, but the white female is a product of the white male. So therefore, she's continuing his legacy of being able to garner the wealth that's created from that black male. Okay, so that's the serious side. The not so serious side is that right now, actually just a few days ago and then yesterday, two different posters on my Facebook, one gentleman and one female, she has a YouTube blog concerning the issue of white women specifically going into Africa paying for sex. And usually these women are beyond 50. And for their counterparts, they have lost their usefulness. And so in order to get their needs met, they will leave Europe, they will leave the United States of America, and they would travel to Africa and actually engage in sexual tourism. And then I just wanted to, come on now. Just read a little passage.
Go ahead, Teach. Go ahead.
That's obviously dick stuff on the island.
All right, go ahead, Teach.
All right, so I have back in the 90s, there was a man. I cannot remember his name. But he wrote a book. It's called Out of Africa. And it was his first time. He covered the Rwandan genocide. And he was a black man, just graduated from college. He had gotten a job, I believe, with the Washington Post, and he was sent to cover the Rwandan genocide. Well, in his excursion to Africa, he met a white woman, and he thought because he was an educated black man, was making a little bit of money, working for a prestigious company, that now somehow he was attractive and entered into a relationship with this white female. Okay, so his mind, his pride, his ego, everything about him was hurt when he saw other white women that looked just like the woman he had, the same status that she had, going after what he considered low-class black men. And I asserted at the time that that was his ego that thought that he was special and that somehow or another he could partake in that forbidden fruit. But what he did not know is that forbidden fruit of all women in the world. I might get in trouble for this statement. I'm not gonna make the statement publicly, but nevertheless,
I'm gonna go ahead because I got a statement for you right behind it.
Teach.
His ego was hurt that these women were picking up little poor boys that weren't, or young men that were not educated, didn't have anything going on, and in essence, they were paying these women were paying these men for sex. So that blew his ego. And then just very quickly, my Facebook friend said that he lived in Paris for 10 years. And he had this mind thought that, the black man was the prize. And what he quickly realized was that I'll just quote him. He says, sleeping with a black man ranks quite high in their bucket list, referring to the white female, which means the time the girls are old enough to mate without their parents' surveillance, they seek by all means necessary to fulfill their desire to sleep with the black man. Okay, so what he says is these men go into Europe and they get these white girls, and the white girls turn them over like tricks. They blow their mind, mess them up, and they can't even function anymore. They take all of their money, and they end up coming back to Africa, butt booty poor.
This sounds like
and they don't realize what happened because for the white female, it's just sport.
This sounds recent. This literally sounds recent. Like, you sure this is history?
Yeah, this is very.
Like, they're laughing. We all laughing because we can think about 3 dudes we all know personally. Like, that just happened to him.
And not only just that, but Teach, I think you are saying something that is also going on in sports, because there's a lot of people that are sitting there saying, why we got all these black athletes, when they come out of college, or you see them in the, no matter if it's the NBA draft or the NFL draft, they sitting there, with the white woman. Why they not sitting there with the sister and all that stuff? And you're touching that, yeah.
Let me hand out some roses over some rocks and put some respect on this man's name. Shouts out to the boy Russell Wilson. I know everybody be playing him like he a simp, but let's think about what this black man did. He came out of college with a white sweetheart girlfriend so he could excel into the league. I believe first couple rounds, I ain't gonna say first couple rounds in his first year got a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. And what he do after he got that nationwide acclaim, he did the opposite. He said, "Oh, bye-bye, white woman. Hey, Sierra, I'll be a stepdaddy."
And showed you how to raise a black family, showed you what to do with a black family.
That's true. And you know what?
There you go.
To add to both of those points, what y'all said, she was actually found out to be cheating on him. That's why Golden Tate, because you remember he was the star wide receiver during that time, the Mr. Lie of, remember the infamous catch, no catch with the green colors? He was actually, his wife was actually cheating on him with Golden Tate. That's why Golden Tate's not with the team anymore. People don't know that. That's just bad in there. Yeah.
But one thing, bro, like Alex, like when you brought up Russell, bro, like he's a good example of a person to bring, man, because with like the topic we was talking about, because man, what he did with that black family, man, showing you how to take care of them kids, even kids that wasn't his, man, and like to put her in the forefront, to show you how you supposed to
even kids that had nothing to do with him. It was just the fact that kid, the kid I'm dealing with, got siblings. And I'm not dealing with the siblings' mama. Right. I'm just dealing with this kid's mama. But all these siblings got the same daddy. You can say what you want to, but you gotta respect that man at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
Like, and he got the money to do it, and he gonna do it. So I respect that man for what he did.
You know what I'm saying?
And he definitely showed brothers what we supposed to do, the opposite. Get you a white woman till you get some success. Get you some success. And kick her ass out and go get you a sister. Go get you a sister and make her right. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what, see, he saw it and he was like, let me flip it. And he showed us we can flip it. Yeah. So shouts out Russell.
He did it. I don't even think he had a baby from her. So that proves your point even, not even prove the point, but prove this truth even more. So for me, who's in an interracial relationship, I'm dating a Filipino right now. So I see.
Well, technically, they ain't interracial because both of y'all covered.
See, when we say interracial, everybody black and white.
And me being from Virginia.
See, there you go. He just proved my point. When the average person hears interracial, they hear colored plus white.
Right. Yeah. And so with me being from the South too, myself being from Virginia, you had whites and blacks. It's like it was toxicity always, all the time. It was around the summer months. You know, when come on, y'all know when it gets super hot outside, you do some crazy mess, and you can just set it by a calendar on this certain date when it's over 90 degrees. There's going to be a fight between the blacks and the rednecks.
Oh, but somebody get shot. You be like, what's the temperature? 95.
Hey, we from Greensboro.
What's the humidity?
Yeah.
Somebody get shot.
So we got a lot of I've learned the history, really starting to look more into the history of it. I feel like they know where we stand, you know. They don't mess with us too much. You know what I mean? Like as far as the white folks, I'd say, you know, they let us be where we at, you know what I mean? And we make the best of it over here. We deal with a lot of, you know, but the racial problems, they not coming out here like they really got a racial problem.
All right, so let me go. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, let's go ahead and address this with with Danny.
Yeah, that line.
Yeah,
the first half, I agree. Alpha male, alpha black male is true forbidden fruit for all females of all races, but especially non-blacks. But to call him a simp for marrying a woman with kids, that's just disrespecting all good stepdaddies out there. And some of you niggas out here got good stepdaddies that did right by you. They ain't your real daddy.
Yeah, I got stepfather.
So that second half of that, I can't get with that second half, but I do agree on the first part though.
Because here's the thing, and this is kind of going off the show topic, but this is something that should be addressed and should be talked about. When we talk about the relationship between, and then me being here in Washington, number of Seahawks fans over here. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. But I got respect for Russ. You know, he was in the Virginia area, so I gotta give him some respect. But Russell Wilson, when he got into a relationship with Sierra just had her name just dropped because they thought that she was a hoe, which that's not the case. She got with Future. When I heard that she got with Future, I was scratching my head like, why would you get with somebody like that? This man's having kids from different women from probably different area codes. But when Russell Wilson took her, I won't say took the end, but like started getting with her, taking care of her, well, she had her own money, so she would take care of herself, but still, she allowed Russell Wilson to be him. She didn't go up in there to take his money or nothing like that. And then for him, and then here's a segment with us black men. When we go into relationships, when the kid is not ours, we always got that stigma. Oh, that little sucker ain't mine. He ain't came from me, so I could care less. But see, and that's
okay. And to answer that,
yeah,
I'm gonna answer that with a question.
For the cow, you know what I'm saying? You can't have the cow without having the calf. You know what I'm saying?
For every man that has ever, no matter your color, for every man that has ever thought that statement, or every woman that's tried to ask that statement, ask yourself this question.
I understand what you're saying.
How many positive individuals, male individuals, were in your life up until that point? Or better yet, how much positivity did you receive from your actual father versus the actual male energy that you received in your life, whether it was uncles, teachers, or whatever? Most of us got our male upbringing from random niggas that had no association with us, whether some of them might have been messing with our mamas at the time. Most of them was folk in our schools and churches and just neighborhood cats.
Hey, well, look,
those were more our daddies than our sperm donors.
Right.
So
go ahead.
The judge man for doing that.
I tell you what, like on some real stuff, I grew up with my pops. My pops always been there. He was a hardworking man. He instilled certain stuff into me. You know what I'm saying? But also his work sometimes took away from the time that he spent with me. So I also spent time with other males as well. and I learned I got a well-rounded point of view about a lot of different things. You know what I mean? It's on both levels and understanding, even sometimes in the lack of some things. But that's also why we doing the things that we doing out here. You know, because we know that sometimes your dad might not be able to say certain things to you that your uncle can. You know what I'm saying? You might take it a little different when your uncle say it to you, or your your old head or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how that's why we rocking the way we rock. At the same time, we also are daddies, you know what I'm saying, and good other fathers. You know, we're good. We're trying to show the good representation of black men, also because back to the stereotype thing, you know, especially the fathers. Sometimes we get a bad rap, so we want to show them that there are good fathers. Also, that people that don't even biologically have kids that are fathers as well. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm happy that you bring up that point. I was happy that Beach that you bring up those questions and elaborated on it, which leads me to say this: Russell Wilson took Little Future under his wing, and I know us men. We have that barrier when it comes to our kids. Definitely, if we want to be in our children's lives, and you know, me and moms, we're not seeing eye to eye. I guarantee he probably called Future like, hey, you know, your kid asked me if he wanted to play some softball. You know, he wanted me to give him a few pointers. I don't want to step over your toes as the father to teach your son how to play baseball. No. I guarantee you, man, I'm cool with that, dog. Go ahead. I promise you, Russell Wilson did that. And that's one of the things that we don't even say and don't even talk about. Because I think out of all men, no matter what their race is, black men, when we know that we stepping in something, no matter what it is, if it's something that is, you know, different from us or something unknown, we're going to ask questions. And if we know somebody that is an expert or who's running the show, we go up to them like, yo, man, hey, I'm about to come into your world and all that stuff. You know, I don't want to overstep your bounds. You know,
respect. It's about respect.
Right, it's about respect. And I can guarantee you, Russ, knowing the mannerisms of Russell Wilson,
right,
that he carries himself in a certain way of like showing respect. And I know he I know he called Future.
Personally, I don't know neither one of them. I don't know none of them. What I think is it'd be a lot of stuff that probably does happen behind the scenes that we
and I knows nothing about, but we can pretty much guess because I'm not gonna sit here and go walk up in your house unless I not even knock on the door or give you a call like, hey man, hey, I'm about to come over. Are you busy? Is he there? A yes, like, hey man, I'm here. Come on in. Just knock on the door, or no, like, hey, now's not a good time. Maybe tomorrow around this time, okay? Like that. And for Russell Wilson to be a bright light in that kid's world it's not even crazy to me. It's that people need to be talking more about that. But look at what he did to Sierra. Yeah, and look what he did to Sierra. Look at what he did for her. Not making her relevant to the people again. Like it was one interview that he did, him and Sierra did, and I think it was last year. And the question was asked to him, like, what made y'all get together? And he started naming the reason what attracted him to her. He said he wanted a God-fearing woman, a woman with a beautiful smile, a woman that cared for me. And he said so many other things. And you saw her reaction. She couldn't even hold her tears in.
He saw those videos. He saw those videos first. He was like, yo, who is that? Who is that? I like her.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Yeah. Okay. First he saw that video, and then he saw that ride video. Yeah. And it was like, and then he heard, and then he got confirmation. Yeah. And he was like, you know what?
Before he heard, bro.
And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm Russell Wilson.
But he might have
had going for it.
What he wanted, so that when he did actually meet her, like, okay, you actually do meet my standards. I actually see that I could do this with you. And maybe you may need a little help here, but that's what men supposed to do, right?
Right. And for her to react the way that she did and cheer up, and then not to mention her mom, Russell Wilson's mom, approve of that relationship. She said when the first time she met her, she knew that she was the one for her son. So when you got mom's approval, you in there.
Speaking of mom, Teach,
Mama.
And Teach got that look on her face. Go on, Teach.
Yeah, man.
She just looking. She ain't said one thing.
Come on, mama.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm listening. But I have a couple of questions that I want to throw out. The gentleman in the blue cap. I didn't catch your name.
My name is Bruce.
Bruce. Okay, so you're Bruce. Okay. I appreciate what you just said about your upbringing, about your father being in your life. And I think that story needs to be told over and over and over again, because it's a runaway narrative and assumption that all Black people have no fathers.
Right.
And we have to say, hey, we do have fathers, and they have done this, and they did do that. And my father instilled wisdom in me. There was one thing that my father told me, that I didn't understand until I became grown. And you all might agree with it, you might not agree with it, but I was 10 years old, and he said, you know too much for your own good. And I feel like if you know it, you know it. But now, the last 10 years, I say, I have come to understand what he was talking about. He saw that in me, and by him mentioning it to me, it made me look at myself and check myself. The words of wisdoms that fathers can impart to their sons and daughters. Now, this is the question that I have. As young men, how do you define the role of a man? And then once you define the role of the man, how do you define the role of a woman? And in the context of a relationship, building the foundation for strength and power.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start it off, and I'm sorry for anybody if I use military terms. So I'm gonna try to break it down to civilian terminology. So for me, for the relationship like I'm currently in, I see it as a 4-star general and the sergeant major. The civilian equivalent will be the president and the vice president. There are going to be days where I'm the president, I'm the 4-star general, where I command. And see, and here's one thing that the military taught me: there's a difference between commanding and running. When you command, that's the order from the top. There's none other. So it will be days where I'm the one that's commanding, like what we're gonna do. Like we're going shopping today. We're going to Costco. We're gonna get milk. We're gonna get cereal. We're gonna get you some clothes and all that stuff. And then her as the vice president, her as the sergeant major, she makes it happen. Okay, cool. We go up in the store. She already got a plan of, okay, this is where we're going to go. We're going to go to this aisle first. We're going to go to the clothes. We're going to get the clothes. We're going to get the milk. We're going to get whatever. And then any extra stuff that she wants, she let me know, like, hey, we do need some butter. And then there are going to be days where that role is going to be in reverse. She's going to be the 4-star general. She's going to be the president. I'm going to be the vice president. And I'm going to be the sergeant major. She's like, baby, my car needs a new alternator. I need that done COB today. Close of business today. My goal, Roger. Check out bank account, how much money I got left. Switch it over from the other account, and I'm on my way to Advanced Order to find the alternator. Get back home, switch the bad alternator, put in the new alternator, fix it up in there, got it done by COB. If I don't, I let her know, like, hey, I'm going to have to work on this a little bit longer. Okay, cool. Just as long as it get done. It's a dynamic of, knowing that this is a partnership. This is a team. But also you got to understand that the man is always going to be the provider. No disrespect to women out there. I understand a lot of women, mainly Black women, y'all want to be independent. I have no issues with that. I have no problem with that. This is my biggest problem with Tyler Perry movies, where Tyler Perry puts the woman so far up in the front that the man is submissive to her demands and submissive to everything. Like when she talks down to him, even when she's wrong, rather than just sitting back and listening to her man, like, hey, baby, this is my time. This is for me to step up. When somebody's coming at you, don't think that you can take this on yourself. Definitely if it's an opposite sex. Because first of all, as us men, we're not gonna allow another man yell at a woman.
No,
And
sure.
then, not to mention,
I can't even do that. Hey, you look like doing that.
You know what I'm saying?
then it takes
How much
away
hell I'm gonna catch for this? No,
Right.
boo boo.
like, and then another thing too, it takes away from our manhood and us being a provider when our woman is going against our wishes of saying, "No, baby, I got it. No. It's up for him to put his foot down, and be like, "No, baby, no. You probably could get this. You probably could get away with it at the house, but no, not here." But you got some of them that sit back like, "Okay, baby, go ahead and handle that. But if he touch you, then I would do something." No, I don't care if he don't touch you. If he's coming at you, oh no, that's not gonna happen on my watch. And even if I have to grab you forcefully and drag your ass behind me, that's what's gonna happen. And that's one of the things that these women nowadays sit there and say they can't find good men out there and all that stuff. That is on you. That is not on us. We looking for good women. We looking for good women every day.
I mean,
But it's also up to you to understand when you are in a relationship, it's not all about you. It is not all about me.
right.
You have to understand that at the end of the day, it's a partnership, but I'm the provider. When somebody comes at our kids the wrong way, yes, you're going to go up to the school, but guess who else going to be coming up to the school? Guess who should be the one doing all the yelling, screaming? No, I won't say yelling, screaming, however, but the one that's got the force behind the voice and knowing that y'all get this straight, something's going to happen.
What we're dealing with is the reversal of the masculine and the feminine roles.
Yeah, that's what
The females have taken on the masculine energy, and the males have taken on the feminine energy. And historically, how did we get here? How did we get here? Historically, we got here because of race discrimination in America. Because there were times that Black men could not find a job and they could not fulfill their obligations in the family. But it was that Black female that stood by him, because we're here today.
Yeah.
The Black female said, "Hey, I can go work for this white woman.
Yeah.
You stay at the house," or whatever have you. And she brought the money home. So our roles was reversed historically. And with the high rate of Black men, now, discrimination is over, but now you have high incarceration, which they say that's the new Jim Crow. So you have basically the Black woman left to fend for herself.
Right.
So she transitioned into that male role for the just sake of survival. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's happening now in these newer relationships, like I tell my son and I tell my daughter, I said the key to any relationship is communication.
Yeah.
And for me, people think I'm a very bossy woman or whatever have you, but I'm very submissive, because I chose a man that has a vision. He had a vision for his life. He knew who he was, and he knew the role that I needed to play in his life. And so he imparted his vision to me, and I got on board with his vision. So even with things, and I think Mr. O was really flabbergasted when I stated this before, that even when I go into various forums and speak at different conferences, I always lead it with, my husband gives me permission to speak to you all today. Even he has given permission for me to speak on this show tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Understood.
So many women were like, I wouldn't be asking my husband this, that, and the other. But for me, in reality, it's a head spin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It makes him feel good. It takes nothing from me. Okay. It takes nothing from me, but that makes him feel like he's in control. And he is.
I just saw
up to the point that I allow him to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm totally in control. But that's why it's important in any relationship, whether it be within your own race or outside of your race, the couple has to establish a vision. Why are we here? What are we doing? What are our goals? Is it just to have fun? Is it just to Netflix and chill every weekend and a baby just happens to come into the mix? That's confusion.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Go ahead, teach.
you know, yeah. So the thing for any relationship is to ask, why are we here? What goals shall we obtain with us being together? How can my skill and your skill mix together to build an empire? We should be about empire building.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and flip it. So let's we already got attention for the black man, but let's go to the black woman. Now, a lot of the black women are, when they look at these interracial relationships, they're saying that, well, like I said, once again, because it's mainly coming from the Black conscious movements that's saying this. They're saying that when you date outside your race, you're forgetting about your black woman. You're forgetting about them, and then black women lashes out. Not all of them lashes out and say that, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And then you see also police brutality. A lot of things that people are not talking about, like the Breonna Taylors, who literally lost her life. And it's just crazy to me that like I said, I'm in an interracial relationship. If I see a sister that's getting beat down the street, I'm not going to pick up this phone and start recording. My ass is going to be, excuse my language, is going to be
to prison.
Literally. And I think that's the biggest issue also for us black men, but for the black women. Yeah. They have done so much for us. But also, could we stop using the excuse of like, your mom is black, you need to start, using that, pushing that narrative to say that we should look out for our black women. We know our moms are black. We know that. You don't have to push that narrative to tell us that black women need us.
I think it's a reminder. I think it's a reminder because as a black woman, what I have seen, and I'll tell you from different perspectives that it actually happened to me. You hear these black men that are upwardly mobile, have something truly going on in their lives, and they choose other races, but in their making their choice, they have to dig into the black woman. So that's offensive. If you like what you like what you like. You don't have to say, well, I like this because I can't stand that.
Yeah.
That is where the problem comes in. If you like what you like what you like. Mm-hmm. But don't say you like it because you had a bad experience of not really truly being a man over here. And what I find with black men that do go towards that forbidden fruit, it's a matter of prestige. To be with another black woman like me, it's not prestigious in their eyes. So it validates them and take them up on a different high. And so personally, I dated a man that preferred another race, and I'll tell you what he did. He's like, oh, I want to get with you, blah, 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 blah. Why don't I come over your house and you cook me some chicken wings and we can watch HBO. At that time, that was the cable, HBO.
Hey, HBO back in the day.
But the same dude tell me that when he met this person of the other race, he wanted to take her to a nice restaurant. He wanted to show her this and show her that, do this and that. Oh, but you want me to go on my wallet and buy some chicken wings with some hot sauce and cook them, the down home way. You want to come over and watch my HBO that I'm paying for. Right. You gonna come at me like this.
Yeah.
And then you want some at the end of the night. And then, but you gonna go in your pocket. Wait a minute, you gonna go work overtime to have some extra money to buy a brand new suit, to get it shaved, get your cologne going, either rent a car or get somebody else's car so you can take this other forbidden fruit on a date to impress her, but you don't feel you need to have any kind of game with me, and I'm supposed to accept that? I'm supposed to be happy with that?
Get him.
Okay? You gonna come at me with your Z game and go with her with your A game. And then say, oh, you know, she treats me nice. She's very submissive and blah, blah, blah. But what did I have to submit to? If you would have just brought the chicken over raw, meaning that you went in your pocket and bought it.
Bought it myself.
I would have had no trouble cooking it up. But the way you arranged this, it was all on me. So then you mad if I decide to say, I don't want you, get out of my house. Oh, you just an angry black woman.
Yeah,
you put all the weight
at that moment,
you gave me all the power. And then you turn around and say, I'm a man, don't talk to me like I'm a little boy.
I mean,
buy some chicken.
You brought up everybody.
I can't sleep everybody.
And Cheech, you brought up a great point that go along with that too, because you got black women that got dogged by us brothers. I'm gonna put myself in that category too. I think we all should put ourselves in that category. Yeah. Y'all been dogged by us, and it's freaking ridiculous. Which would make it easier for these white boys to come and step on in, because I met some white boys. I met some white boys that literally and I mainly will find them here in the military. They would just be like, "Hey man, you can have all the white women, but you look at that sister over there, she mine." And Eddie Griffin said it right. He said, "When a white dude get a sister, he get a sister, the finest one in the room. Love them
for the most part.
You got money to pay for them too.
That's all
here's the thing. Privilege.
Here's the thing that trips me out about interracial.
I can march to the couch. You know what I mean?
Black women.
I do some things.
Black women and interracial dating. Like black women say, it's the first acknowledged, recognized, legally established, and constitutionally approved interracial relationship was between what? A white man and a black woman.
Because that's what the white man wanted.
So when we talk about the power that black women have, it was a black woman that started interracial dating in America and made it legally acceptable and acknowledgeable. See, when black men were doing it, it was the taboo
to be all the way
around. That's why once a black woman got legalized, you feel me? The prestige came about because with us, we were always, like you said, we had to sneak around, but then a black woman got it acknowledged, got it accepted, got the law to approve it. So brothers, after that have that mentality, have that prestige in their head, was like, well, shoot, it's legal. So let me go find me the white woman, the enslaving me been wanting for generations. Like I don't have to worry about getting hung now. So
yeah, I know.
Thank you.
but just think about society altogether. The start of humanity.
Yeah.
It all affects us from black women. Like, think about it. Everything that's going on this earth, you cannot tell me a black woman did not have not just one finger or a hand or both her hands, her whole feet, her whole soul into it.
I play chess. Me personally, I play chess. And if you look at chess, really the king is the most important piece on the table, because if the king falls, then everybody else falls.
Right.
But the queen is the most powerful, because the queen can make every move that every other piece can make. The king can only move but one place at one time. but the queen
exactly.
across the board. You know what I'm saying?
Everywhere.
So, you know, like, I don't know. I guess in my mind, I'm just trying to say that, you know, king is queen. You know what I mean? Period. You know,
King is the queen, queen is the king.
And you can find one any race that you want to find one in. I guess, you know what I'm saying. You might have to do a little digging search, but you know,
Well,
they
I want to say one thing that that you will hear in the conscious community concerning interracial mating. Is their belief, or one strand of their belief, that the reason why you see a rise in white women dating black men for the specific purpose of getting their DNA. And that purpose is that, you know, it has been stated time and time again that the European race is constantly looking at their mortality or their extinction as a race. So as a mode of survival, they're attaching to the original DNA of mankind for their life survival. And another way in Brazil and other South American countries that have large black populations and European imported populations, they have a racial policy of mixing the races, one in the attempt to reduce racism, and two how can I say it, to basically remove that factor of extinction.
Okay.
Assimilation.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that would make sense.
That's
White people,
so it comes down
Caucasians
to
are
a
the board.
survival move.
right.
Oh, you're strong for good.
But I go
I can
ahead.
understand that. I can understand that, and I see where they get validity from it, because, as you say, the rise of it also balances with the rise of social media of black men in interracial relationships with white women, who are now finding out that this snow bunny or this cool white chick is now a bleeding heart racist, possibly worse than her racist ass granddaddy.
Right.
Like, you have that, like, just outright disrespecting, calling their own children.
The M
Get
word.
that little nigga. I don't give a fuck about you or that little niglet. You had this baby. And like in one video, the dude was like, you wanted this child. How you gonna disrespect the child because they half black that you wanted? And it's just more racist rhetoric, and you can see, you hear the family even spit more racist rhetoric in the background. So I believe, and I can understand wholeheartedly where the conscious movement would find strength in that theory. Because to see that type of action out there, I believe it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the caveat is that the master has always had interracial children, and they did not fare any better than the pure African children that were birthed. So a person can indeed be racist and have biracial children that they don't care about. They're like, oh, okay, that's another field hand that can make me rich.
Yeah,
basically, and that's a tough pill to swallow, because you got, because the reason why I say that is because you do got interracial relationships out there that's successful, that is strong, and sometimes what shocks me that even the white counterpart goes harder when their counterpart or they see racism involved, that they will actually use their white privilege. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a thing. White privilege is a thing. Two days ago, we seen it.
I want to bottle it up and use it.
But they use their white privilege to sit there and say that's racist, and they would stop just like that. Or they be called, the lover.
But like I said, like y'all said though at the beginning, if we talking about interracial relationships, then we gotta break the stigma ourselves as black folks to just
And
think
truly
about
define what is interracial.
black and white. Because
Yeah.
I might meet somebody who's Brazilian. Or matter of fact, my son's mother is Guyanese and Asian. She's her family is from South America. But her grandfather is from Asia, and he moved from Asia because he couldn't be with who he wanted to be with, and he moved to Guyana, South America, and ended up being with what really is really a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like some Geechee folks. You know what I'm saying? And that's who he was with.
Yeah, I got you.
The lineage. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like we're minorities regardless. You know what I'm saying? So if you get with a minority, it's still an interracial relationship if you're with an Asian person or it's not just black and white. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what
Right,
I
I
mean?
got you.
There's a level of racial understanding and tolerance that's
Racial
automatically acknowledged.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
let me
When
go
you with
ahead.
a white person, it's that oppression and that systemic stuff. It's the prevalent stuff that always is in the back of your head when you with a white person in an interracial relationship. Are they with me because of this? Am I with them because I secretly feel this way about my own people? You know, it's these big racist questions. You don't really have those type of questions in other colored minority interracial relationships.
So let me go ahead and flip it for y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it like this. Now, back in the day when segregation, this is back where we teach when you was growing up, where they always the white folks always mainly their white little girls to stay with their race. And blacks also did the same as that thing too. And from my view, to me, is a double negative. What is your view on when you hear people say stay within your race? Do you believe that we should, be straighten our people like they straighten theirs, but then later down the road, now that when they come together, they're dying off?
Is a rhetoric. It's a rhetoric and a thought process that has to be adapted to the times. During the times that we grew up hearing it, the level of interracial acknowledgement or breeding going on wasn't that prevalent and it wasn't that diverse.
Right.
It was mainly white, black. But now we're in the point of even white people will say they're in an interracial relationship when they're talking about a black person and a Filipino, like in your case down there. They will say, they will make the statement that that's interracial. So the lines are so blurred and the wording is so vague now that we need proper understanding of what truly defines interracial in a relationship, because now we have interracial humans as almost their own subset of race. So if two interracial people are together, are they in a normal relationship? If a half black, half white girl gets with a Jamaican and Asian dude, is that still technically an interracial relationship? They're two interracial people.
Yeah, basically what you're saying, that could be the new norm in 10 years from now. Go ahead, teach.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Anytime one or two races mix, that's interracial. It doesn't matter what the races are. If they are not the same DNA base, it's interracial. And you have to broaden your mind even to this degree. And I wish Professor O was on the show tonight. He could really tell you about the differences of the black race, even within his country. Each, I can't pronounce his ethnic group, but it's different from the Yoruba, where Mayo was Yoruba and Professor O is the race he is. They are two different races.
Right now, neither.
Yeah, they're two different races, but they come from the same country. But for us, it's hard to imagine. Well, he's black, but they talk about two different races. But your DNA base makes you a different race, even within the black race. There's races within the Black race. So, so say if someone from Professor O's ethnic group marries someone from Mayo's ethnic group, and they have a child, they would call that child a half breed. In our minds, that's unheard of because we're all half breeds here in America. We're multiple breeds because we're you know. But on the continent, they can make that distinction because they have pure lines of their race.
Yeah.
In their, you know, within the ethnic group, from the Yoruba, the Hausas, the Kosas, the Oyos, and so forth and so on. They have a pure DNA base. So just going from one African ethnic group to another can make you a half breed, if or interracial relationship. Even with my current husband, he's from Senegal. He's Wolof. So I consider myself an interracial, intercultural relationship because we have two different culture bases, even though we're both Black, but it's still two different races. And to this point, I wanted to say concerning Black women going or now turning to white men, there's a big turn for Black women to seek out or be available for African men, and I fall in that category. And there's a growing there's women, Black women, who won't even think of going with a lighter race. They prefer Black men, and they're willing to go to Africa or Jamaica or to the islands to find their counterpart if they don't have a suitable counterpart here in the United States.
You know what? I try to tell my friends back at home and try to tell my bell buddies, all the light skinned ones. I said that dark blackity black Wesley Snipes coming back. I told them. Each and every one of them.
See, now teach with that explanation of interracial. Y'all had y'all time. Y'all had y'all time in the 70s, in the early 80s with light skins.
Yeah, that's light skin.
No. Y'all had the 70s, and y'all was paired up in the early 80s.
Okay, I'll take
with the light skins.
Look,
it went with three dark niggas in Hollywood: Wesley and the Murphy Boys.
Yeah,
darkness, everybody, darkness. No. And first of all, you know what really killed it for the light skins was Millie and Vanilli. They killed it. They killed it. They messed it up. That's when we were like, yup. That's when Wesley Snipes came out. He was like, yup, it's over. And then when Blade came out, rap.
Blade did it, bro. Nah, but that's real. Though, even with us just joking around talking about dark skin and light skin, even sometimes people associate, it's like stereotype. You think like some people get out there and be like, you know, dark skinned men are more romantic than light skinned men, or light skinned men are sensitive. And dark skinned men are harder, you know. It's a lot of stereotypes, regardless of the race, even within our own race, like you said. Like even though we look at our skin color, like you know, somebody might look at your husband and look at him like he's a black guy. You know what I mean? But he gonna look at it like he's, you know, from Senegal, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like a lot of separation. No more elder bars.
No more elder bars.
This is
it really matters at the end of the day what I live on, like principles, you know, morals. You know what I mean? Like what you value as a person. You know what I mean? Not your color, your skin, how light you are, how dark you are, if you're white, if you're Filipino, if you're Mexican. You know what I mean? Because you got bad people in the world, you got good people in the world.
Right.
One thing, the things I live on: honor, respect, and loyalty. And if you can follow that, then you can be for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You should be all right. But I want to go back to
hold on. I want to answer that statement down there, and it goes along with what Teach was saying about Black women. We said you should know who you with really know. Yes, you should, and because I just seen a recent post about one of the gentlemen from the Capitol storming. He is the founder of the Proud Boys of Hawaii and is married to a chocolate sister.
Yep.
But he's in the Proud.
Got a baby with it and everything, and then also has a beautiful biracial baby and a Proud Boys tat on his forearm.
Yep.
Confusing.
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
Confusing.
That's that fetish.
And there you go.
That's that fetish because
That's
the
the
Proud
1%.
Boys
That's the 1%
is dealing with white supremacy. That's the core basis of it. So he's saying I'm white supremacist, but I like me some chocolate because it is true. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Mm-hmm. And then you got also Candace Owens.
I like sweet juice.
Yeah.
Candace Owens is another one. Her husband is white, and you see all the rhetoric that she's saying. She said that George Floyd was guilty of sin.
No, Candace, I gotta go with teaching on that one. Use your term. That's pillow talk right there. That's pillow talk 101 with Candace Owens. if you want to know how to play that game in that facet, play like this. She's what you call a specialist coach. If we was in football, she's that trainer that come in and all she gonna do is help you get your hamstrings right. Your pop off is gonna be explosive. When you want to know how to pillow talk and play that game, go holler at Candace. She gets you right.
All right, so I also want to go back to I hope Daniel, E12 Daniel's still watching. I want to go back to this one. I don't think any of y'all saw this.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I'm giving y'all a chance to look at it. Then I wanted to give my thoughts before I open the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought
all right, so
I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I
so
agree. The family needs to be restored.
Right. So this is my take, and then I'm gonna open for everybody else. So I've said on this show before, I even said on my podcast, the Alamonte Show, Cheap Pop, that a woman can never raise a boy to be a man, just as a man can't raise a girl to be a woman. I always said that. Nobody can tell me that a woman can raise a boy to be a man. Can't happen. Or a man to raise a girl to be a woman. I have not seen that happen. But I will tell you this: have the black household been messed up? Yes, it has. But you still will have the mother and the father in the household, and it still can be broken. They could still have issues and still can have problems. Right. And see, you got to take the good with the bad. Just because you got the mother and father in the household doesn't always mean that house is going to be structured.
They might both be on crack.
Right. And see, you took the thought right out of my mind. One could be a drug dealer. The other one could be a self-righteous individual that's sitting there throwing their insecurities on each other, and the kids have to witness that. Right. The kids don't have no choice. They can't, and the kids can't sit there and say, "Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting," and all that stuff. And now you gotta think about the kids' safety, because one of them could be abusive. One could be a freaking drunk coming home to work, can beat on the mom, or the mom beating on the dad, because ladies and gentlemen, yes, they do. Abuse also happens to the men too. So let's put that out there. And then they take it out on the kids, and the kid could be just giving them a like, "Hey, mommy, look, I got straight A's," and they just smack the report card right out their hand. Go get a switch outside for absolutely no reason. So we need to get off this narrative of if there's a mother or if the father was there, none of this would be happening. No, that's a lie. We need to start giving strong single mothers and strong single fathers. Let me say that again. We need to give strong single mothers and strong single fathers their roses for doing the best they can for their kids. Yeah. Even though they probably, because like, what's that one Tyler Perry movie where it was that one, the father raising 3 little girls. Done his best. You got fathers out there like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You got mothers out there that don't get there just to remember that woman around the streets that's always called the hoe and all that stuff and got all these kids. But guess what she's doing? Even though she's at the strip club, guess where that strip club money's going to? Provide for her kids and doing her best and letting her and shadowing that life from her kids just to see them succeed. We need to start giving them their roses now. We need to start appreciating them much, much more. And I use the floor.
I appreciate you for giving me those roses, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm taking one like I know things out there. I appreciate it. It's been a long, hard road. But we made it happen through the hard times. You know what I'm saying?
Doing that, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we need to start, giving the respect when the respect is due. You got strong women out there, even those that had kids at a very, very young age, and they doing the best they can. If you watching this, if you got a homegirl or old dude that's watching this, make sure you flick to this part. We love you.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give a damn what all those other people are saying about you. Because guess what? They got skeletons in the closet. We all got skeletons.
Say it.
Yeah.
So you tell them to go ahead and mind their business, and you do your thing. If your kids still got clothes on their back, food on the table, you still paying your bills on time, still got the lights on, still got the freaking refrigerator packed. When they hungry, you can go to get Domino's or take them to when this pandemic is over, that they can go play with their friends, go on vacation, whatever. If you get to do that, who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares? Teach, you have anything to add?
I have something I want to say. Yes. I'm thinking about something that seemed to be far removed from our society, and I just want to get your knee-jerk reaction to it. How would you feel? I mean, let me ask you this. Okay, Donnell, you're in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce, are you in a relationship? Are you married?
No, ma'am.
Okay, safe answer. And so the gentleman in the red.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in a relationship. I'm Chris. I'm in a relationship.
Okay, Chris, Bruce and Chris. Okay, relationship. All right. So all of you all are in relationships, but how would you feel if you came home one day and your mother said, "You see that lady in the living room? That's your wife. Take her home." How would you feel about that?
I'm sorry.
And the reason why I asked that, the reason why I asked that is because I do a lot of traveling throughout Africa, and I have met women and men that were in arranged relationships where they meet their spouse on the day of the wedding, or they meet them maybe one time before they get married. And this one particular lady, she lives here in the United States, and I asked her, I was like, how does that work? Because we're so used to thinking, now follow what I'm saying, we're so used to thinking that we just have a choice and we have
not even
options.
That. Not even that. We're taught to go find love. Yeah. We're taught to go out there and look for it ourselves, not come home one day and be like,
I can't do that.
I'm supposed to go out there and find a woman who I want to make my wife. Now my mama be like, baby, this is Cheryl. Okay. Y'all married.
But what we're seeing here in the United States is a total failure in marriage in the Black community. And so I asked her, I said, well, how does that really work? And basically in African societies, men are taught to be men and how to carry out their duties as a husband, and women are taught to be women and how to carry out their duties. So no matter which man and which woman get together, they're both going to carry out their duties. And then most of all, what holds the relationship together is the fact that they honor their parents' decision. And so I asked about love, and they said, "Oh, that's just a Western concept. Marriage is about business. Marriage is about building. So you have these two people that just met each other. They live their lives, be married to each other for 60, 70 years with 5 kids. And we're like, we just can't even comprehend that. Because we're taught to chase love. We're taught to chase all these options. And when you get to the end of your life, you're still in a relationship. You haven't married anybody. You got, they put it on your obituary. He had a special friend.
Like that.
He had a special friend.
They can't put that in the paper. They can't put that in the paper because the wrong person cried. Like if one of us got special friend, and Lord forbid, if the wrong brother cried too much at the funeral, that's the special friend.
No, they'll list the name. They'll list the name. They'll list the name. So I'm looking at the state of the American relationship. And I remember at one conference, this was in 2013, they introduced me. I'm this lady from America. They didn't know my marital status or anything. But this man from Chad, he was the minister of education. And he just came up to me. And he was a big, tall man. Big and tall. And he said, I know there's a problem with women having husbands in America. He said, in Africa, he said, we would marry you. And I looked up at the man. Because he was so big. He was so big.
So big.
He was. And so I said, well, explain yourself, because I wanted to understand the concept. He said, in our country, there's no single women. There's no such thing as a single woman. And I said, well, explain it. He said, well, if you lived in our community, the men would get together and select a man to be presented to you as your husband. Because we don't believe in allowing our women to be uncovered. We don't believe in allowing our women to be unprotected. So we as a community would get somebody, and y'all work it out. When y'all get behind those closed doors, y'all work it out.
This kind of like that. This is like yeah. This is kind of like the HOA of freaking relationships over there in Africa.
But see, it makes sense what she's saying though, but it's all in how you perceive it and how you look at it. Like me, for example, I've always been one of the people that can step outside and look at it from the outside looking in. Right. So when she's saying,
same here.
When she's saying that in Africa, marriage is a business. It's a business of functionality. The function of building the family, building the community, strengthening the ancestral bond and connection and longevity. Right. Whereas when the white man came in and explored and saw the customs, and most assuredly saw a couple different variations of wedding celebrations, because it is a celebratory thing once they have made their final decision. Y'all get married, now the whole community is going to celebrate. So after seeing this, and I'm pretty sure they heard the same translation, marriage is a business. They heard it a completely different way. They heard it like a hustle. Yeah. They heard it like, oh, it's a business. So you mean to tell me? So they looked at it like the dude that married them, that's money. The people that throwing all this stuff on the side, that's money. The little dancers, that's money. If I get all these people arranged, that's money. But no, that's when we get to America. Because see, they took that idea and took it over to England. But see, they took it to England, worked the gigs out, did what they needed to figure out the paperwork on how we was going to do a transaction. That's at the same time that I think it was King Henry VIII. He was the one that finalized the divorce decree. So he made divorce legal. And anything that's legal is susceptible to financial exchange and transaction, like marriage. So now you take that financial bonding of celebratory marriage under the westernized mind frame take it over here. And yes, we see it. Marriage is a business. It's not a business in America. It's a fucking industry. From the churches to the eventers to the caterers to the divorce lawyers, as well as the parties after the divorces, as well as the therapy and all other facets that would transpire child support, alimony.
Who said that? I didn't say that.
Realtors. I'm just rambling off the top of my head. The business of marriage. And then to add on to that business, dating, the art of courting, where you're supposed to go out here, find somebody that you're interested in, learn them along a courting process, which requires several attempts at what? Eating and some kind of activity or event, which costs what? Money.
It all comes down to
so
money.
It just tags it becomes a prison system, if you will. From courting to dating to relationships to engagements to wedding planning, wedding execution, all facets of wedding life, and Lord forbid, but in America, 50% divorce and all the aftermath of divorce. These are a myriad of financial entities that come in from the business of marriage. So that's why we don't understand
Western
when we
marriage.
see the African, as Western marriage, because that's what we are brought. And most of the world follows Western style. Even though it may be like even in Japan, they still do that. They still believe in arranged marriages. India is the same way, but it's still Western style. So that money is still getting spent.
I don't know. Me personally, I just think it's a personal thing. Some people do it for different reasons. That's why I say it's a personal thing. Some people do it for the real genuine part of it. You know,
Some get that stability.
some look for stability, some look for survival, some look for monetary gain, status.
It go from your upbringing as well. Like I said, in Africa, they're raised to have that mentality. So that's why they can go into it blind, because it's like, there's no reason why this woman shouldn't know how to cook curry goat. There's no reason. She's thinking there's no reason why this man shouldn't be able to go out here and get this money.
And that comes from
because everybody is bred to do that.
It's a cultural thing, and they see it as a responsibility to the community to take on marriage. Is a responsibility. A single person is considered to be an irresponsible person. So the idea is that you situate yourself with education, with a means to create a livelihood, and the next step is to take on a wife and create a family and create wealth within your family.
And it probably is. I understand how it could be easier there because they deal with each other in their own village. Over here, it's so much separation. That you know, we don't have our own village. Like even our village, our community, the neighborhood you grew up in, you know, they're not. My home girl up the street wasn't raised exactly how I was raised. They don't know how to do the right things I do. You know what I'm saying? Their dad didn't teach them the same thing my dad did. Or their mom,
like basically that over here, taking the village, you raise your child.
It's still taking the village, but you got to build your village. You know,
which takes me back to my first point. Which takes me back to my point about the various ethnic groups, like Mr. O's group and Mayo's group. They would forbid them marrying because they are not acculturated to their culture. And that's why Mr. O or Mayo really could have spoke about this from their perspective. It's a big issue about marrying outside of your culture. And see, here we have so many different various cultures. Is trying to, you know, fit a square peg into a round hole or rectangular shape. But for me, what stands out the most is that men and women think that they have these standards and these options. And these standards and options are really seriously simply keeping you single instead of finding someone of a good heart and you all working it out. And I asked these individuals, well, you just meet the person, what about, this concept of love? They said love comes as the relationship forms. As you get to know that person, the love will come, the bonding will come. So the bonding initially is not the bonding is not the glue that's going to hold the relationship together. What holds the relationship together is the man knowing his role, how to fulfill it, the woman knowing her role and how to fulfill it. And when they come together, they work jointly together.
All right. For that point, I want to go back to what E12 Daniel. First of all, E12 Daniel, I appreciate you putting in and commenting, just like everybody else on the show, but you've been commenting the most. I want to go back to this point that you put that the highest stats were troubled kids from single households. That is misleading. I'm already gonna tell you that's misleading. I'm gonna call that misleading because you will have dysfunctional kids, and we got a scholar on this show. We have a scholar on the show that can probably vouch for me that all that stat what you just said does not all come from a single household.
That stat comes from the Monahan report that was produced in 1964. That was the report that they did the study on the African American households to say that because youth are being raised by single mothers, these children are in trouble. And that was a full report of propaganda, because you can have a two-parent household and still have a bad seed. A bad seed is a bad seed.
I know more messed up kids in two-parent households than single-parent households.
Yeah.
I don't even try to look at the statistics. All the main focus of it is 100% of kids that are at risk or they need some help.
Yeah.
Or they need some kind of way.
Or I say this, they just need an ass whooping, a real good ass whooping. It is crazy that I see a lot around here. And not trying to downgrade the military couples out there. I'm not. I love y'all, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. Majority of that I see with them, where I see their kids running around. Yeah, kids running around. Now you do got some strict parents. Definitely the ones that got drill instructor and drill sergeant backgrounds. When they make that look, their kids straighten up. But then you got
that's your job.
I'm telling you. But then you got kids out over here where they just have them running amok all through the store, and you be like, and you just want to grab the kids and give them an ass sometimes. But it's like, nah, this your kids, and it just shows you how the generations have changed. You know?
Do you see? Look at my face.
Yeah.
When you talk about how we were raised, like I like when we get into conversations like this because people always look at me like a statistic. I was like, well, no, actually, I'm the product of a married couple. My parents were married 2 years before they had me, so I'm not a shotgun wedding baby.
Right.
And my father, so I'm not a bastard, not a shotgun wedding baby, and I'm not. My mother's not a single mother; she's a widowed mother.
Big difference.
Exactly. So when you get in topics like this, it's always funny. Because my dad was the type of individual that he beat your kid. If your kid want to act up within his range,
that's how I am.
He'll give the kid the look, and then he'll give the parent the look like, yo, I have no problem. This, and then usually if me and my sister were around, we would look at the kid and the parent like, my daddy will fuck him up.
Yeah.
Like you see us not acting up.
Even though I don't believe in that, but sometimes I'll be like, I see why.
Oh no, it's called for.
Yeah, I see why back in the day.
There's a reason why. But it's a reason why it worked.
Yeah, because I see why when you did something wrong in school back in the day, Tish, you probably can vouch for this, where you got the neighbors whipping your ass. Then it gets to your immediate get to your aunt, get to your uncle, then it get to your mama and daddy.
And see, I think that's what the things in life, like we were talking about, man. Like we got away from the old ways of raising kids.
Yeah, just
got away from them. That's why a lot of the kids do what they do now, because you don't have nobody that'll get on there when they see them doing something wrong, because they scared of it.
Like scared, and they want to be their friend.
Yeah, when I was growing up, like I say, my mama wasn't scared of me. People in the neighborhood, like the older people in the neighborhood, they wasn't scared of me because they had permission. Like my mama used to tell me, if you see him out doing something wrong, beat his ass. That's what she just used to tell me. If you see him out doing something wrong, get him. So like that's one thing, like I can say for like it's how you take what was taught to you and teach it to others. Like for me, for example, with my own kids, when they do everything right, they get rewarded for doing the stuff right that they do.
As they should, yeah.
But when they start showing their ass doing the things they're supposed to do, then you got to see that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just the same way that my mother raised me. And that's what the world got to get back to change a lot of things that's going on out here.
You're right. We can't.
And I want to add on to that as well. We ain't talking about, when we talking about the chastisement and the discipline, we ain't talking about everybody, you just getting 5-6 ass whoopings before you even get home. No, you got discipline. Because it was situations like, okay, your teacher sent you a note home, but the bus driver went to your church and was on the usher board with your mama, so she seen the note, so she already knew what was up. So what she do? She made you sit up front, right behind her, and she made sure to talk to you. And then she also made sure you was the last one to get off the bus. Made sure before the bus left off, you was good and clear to where your house was.
Yeah, like discipline isn't just chastisement. Two different words. You know what I'm saying? Discipline sometimes can't talk, and you know, like you said, like sometimes you gotta jump on them. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the bus driver might talk to you before you get home. Like you saying, what you doing? You messing up. It's showing you people care about you.
Exactly. When you talk about the uncles and aunts.
That's the village helping take care of the children. But nowadays, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, don't talk to my kid like that. You know what I mean? It's where it got kids, where kids are like, you can't talk to me like that. You're not my mama. You're not my dad. You know what I'm saying?
But see, here's the to what you were saying. Here's the contrary to that. What I would say to that is when the kids say that, make sure you discipline them. Be like, don't you ever talk to another adult like that. Right. You know, be like,
I'm not that adult.
Right.
I'm slick mouth. Don't tell you ain't my daddy. You sure about that? Right. What's your mama last name? What's your mama name?
What the kids should do.
You do kind of look like me. Right. I'm not that one.
What the kids should do, even if the aunt and uncle are out of line, let's say they got into a fight, but the person started with them and they get whipping for it. I would tell my kid, go ahead and get your whipping. You come back to me, I'm gonna find out the story, and you tell me which ones whipped you, and let me address that. That's another thing that should be happening too, as well, because the kid turned out to be correct and right. You let me know who put their hands on you. If it's your aunt and uncle, let me address it. You get your ass up in that room, all right? But to also,
I would agree with that too. That was that understanding amongst adults,
right? Because
we understand kids gonna mess up, and if I as an adult am in the wrong, I should be an adult and honor that. I was wrong for popping him. I thought he did it. That's what I saw. That was my inference. Now we know the truth. And
that's majority of the time what the answer will be.
That's on me.
But E. Daniel, first of all, E12 Daniel, thank you for continuing to reply and all that stuff and comment on the show, man. But everybody see that comment real quick because we're about to start off with Beach Johnson segment. Give us about 10 minutes. But
it's funny because we've been doing this. We've actually done both of the segments kind of fluidly throughout the show.
Go ahead.
I wanted to make a comment on his statement about single women can't raise a man.
Okay, let me see. You talking about this one right here, right?
If a woman is single, she doing the best she can. Because what you're saying is the man is not there to raise that child. So you can't put all the weight on that woman. You can say an absent father has no power over his child. So let's just shift the weight. Let's share the weight. It took the sperm and the egg to produce that child. But if she is left by herself, the statement should not be she cannot raise a child. It should be that man is not raising his child.
Yeah, it should be stated that a single mother reflects the lack of the man, but it does not reflect the lack of a man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Because to say a single woman is a single independent by herself, no other, completely bubbled up, a single woman with no outside help whatsoever. Yes, you are correct. She cannot raise a man. But there are plenty single women who may not have had the man, the sperm donor, the father in the life, but there have been a man or men to make sure that she got the extra help she needed, and she raised that child to be a man.
Right. There's just certain things that she can't teach them personally as a woman.
Exactly.
About manhood.
Yeah, because I definitely came from a single parent home, man. My mother, man, raised me great. She just couldn't teach me how to be a man. I had to go through my own life lessons to learn how to become a man. Like, but she raised me great. She installed the things into me. Like, I know how to wash dishes. I know how to cook and clean. I know how to do all the things.
I'm domesticated.
That,
I can take care of myself.
But my mom raised me and restored them things in me. But I had to go through my own life lesson to learn how to become a man. Meaning raising my kids, I had to learn how to become a daddy on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a father. And I hate to say it, the crazy way I learned how to become a father from the way my mother raised me. Just to be honest and real. Like, the things she installed in me, I installed in my children. Because my mother, she wasn't weak. She raised 4 boys by herself. She wasn't weak at all. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of what I look for in my lady. Like, my lady had to be strong like my mother, because I watched a strong woman raise 4 by herself. You know what I'm saying? Work 2 jobs, struggling in and out, making sure we had ends meet, making sure we had the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, in the home and out the home. So, like, I'm a product of a single parent home, and I know for a fact that a woman can do a hell of a job raising a man. You just got to go through her own life lessons and learn how to become a man.
There you go. And see, and that's why I was saying earlier, just to sum up what everybody's saying, that's why I was saying earlier, we need to start showing the respect to the single parent, to the single mother, to the single father. Like I said, I still stick with a woman can't raise a man as well a man can't raise a woman, but still they do their damnedest and do their damn best to do what they do.
Let's kind of clean up a little bit. A woman can't finish the job of raising a man.
There you go.
I take that finish the job of raising a daughter or raising a woman.
Yeah,
because we can all agree. You get up to about the hormonal point, and that's when it's like a tag match. It's like, I'm good for the first half. All right. Tag.
Like Mama said, she said, I got you here. Now you got to do the rest.
And see, and that's where, and we doing a little, we kind of bringing everything together. What we talked about when we talked about Russell Wilson's year, and then you got somebody like Russell Wilson who stepped into Little Future's life and made it better and great for him. And not only just that, Sierra and Russell Wilson had their own kid. So look at that perfect bond right there. I think two. Yeah. So look at that. So it does work. But yeah, this is a great panel, by the way. And then also your boy gonna be mad at me because the second half of the show was sponsored by Skystone Society. So I'm gonna let you do the honest piece.
Because see, this is all local for me. So number one, I just like to thank y'all for coming on, and the fact that we were supposed to talk about interracial relationships as well as African diaspora and global African understanding along with community involvement. And we pretty much did most of that up until this point very fluidly in one big old conversation.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it tied into all the points that I had.
Yes.
With the.
So at this point, all I'm gonna do is say this segment of community involvement is sponsored by Sky Zone Society, a fellow local. I will say, you understand why I say fellow local apparel, as well as videography and visuals.
Here's the link.
Yeah, I see him Sky Zone right there by my head.
Yeah.
They helped us. They helped us introduce two fellow apparel entrepreneurs,
Right.
as well as the co-founders of Daddy Duty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked as much as I can about it without really knowing the details. So I'm gonna give these brothers the chance to elaborate and truly tell us what their community involvement of Daddy Duty entails.
But before you do that, I gotta roll the intro. Yeah. So
I got an intro.
Yeah, you gotta roll the intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The second edition of Peace Community. Cannot wait for this one. Gentlemen, take it away.
What up, J-Dub?
Good with you, gentlemen. As I stated earlier, I have Mr. Bruce Price, Mr. Chris Stevenson. I ain't gonna call him Christopher. There's too many Christophers out here. And Christopher Carter, who visually could not make it on the show. But these three individuals are fellow alumni of my high school, James Vincent Dudley High. Shouts out.
The D.
Since this is a black, since we talking about a black network on a black podcast, we come from a historically black high school.
Straight like that. Straight.
Better say it, my brother.
Yes, sir. So these gentlemen decided that they wanted to offer a venue for the youth. They wanted to allow the brothers and the men that wanted to be men the chance to be men and give the boys the opportunity to be young men.
Exactly.
And learn what it is to be a young man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to know from y'all, aside from just setting up outdoor events, what all is the true mission statement of Daddy Duty?
Go ahead, bro.
Doing us to help youth. The words Daddy Duty is in the title. It's Daddy Duty. Doing us. The word duty is the acronym DUTY. Doing us to help youth. Us as men and fathers doing everything we got to do, doing our part while we're here. You know what I'm saying? To help the next generation. The only way we really see a change really coming is by dealing with the people who's going to handle the future after us.
And that's the next generation.
Planting seeds.
Yeah, definitely planting seeds. Because, man, like, one thing going on in our community, in our neighborhoods is, man, these kids is out here out of control, as we all know, because we live out here, here in Greensboro. We know how it is out here, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. And it's kind of our fault or us older guys, the fault that they consider the leaders, man, because we didn't take the time to install the things into the generation after us, like the generation before us did. Mm-hmm. And seeing what we trying to do with Daddy Duty, man, is take it back, man. Take it all the way back. Meaning, man, like, we got to really get out here and get with these kids one-on-one, man, to figure out, like, what's going on, what's the issue, man. We got to sit out here and talk to them. And, like, for some of us older guys, man, we got to get out here and take it back, because we are grown, man. And we can't, for us people that's adults, we can't change nothing we done did, man, or we can't change our life. And pretty much adults are stuck in their ways, man. So the only way to change the future is by reaching the future. Right. And we trying to do that with the Daddy Duty program, because we taking all brothers. It don't matter the side of fence you on. It don't matter the color of rag you rep. It don't matter what side of town you stay on. We all got one thing in common, man, and that's the future. Ain't no way we can duck the future. You know what I'm saying? So we got to, man, with this daddy duty thing, take our time, man, and reach back. And I really talk to these kids, man, and help them, man, instead of destroying them. You know what I'm saying? We got to give them a outweigh, man, instead of the things that they've been seeing and being used to. And it's up to us to do.
I love when you talked about the whole reference of the rags, because I've always spoke that if we're gonna unite, we gotta unite.
Yeah.
Get the good with the bad. Yeah. We need to get the Magnificent Seven out here. Everybody out here. Now, if you need the preachers and the pimps, you need the pushers and the pros.
Both sides of the fence.
Both sides.
You need the tricks and the brothers out here running licks. You need everybody on one front. Right. So when to hear that type of rhetoric and that type of energy is really what's needed in the community. Because we had this type of pride about ourselves, especially us black men that have made it out of a certain position, and we done kind of leveled up and we done got comfortable. Now we feeling like, well, I made it. You get that kind of high and mighty. I made it. You know, you can make it too. But yeah, the best way for them is to help them. It don't take a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a simple word. It's simple stories like, hey, bro, this is what I did. And I would advise you not go do it because you're liable to have a story like mine.
Just like it.
Yeah.
If somebody don't tell you about it, so people can come from it and then get away from it, basically. Like you get your break and then you turn your back on the hood, basically.
Yeah.
Act like you ain't never did nothing wrong. Like you ain't never been in them shoes. But the kids, they need people that they can relate to. Somebody can say, yeah, we've been there. We've done exactly what you did. I could talk to you.
And people don't really realize, like,
we've been
that's the truest form. Like, what y'all doing is, like, if you want to get spiritual, that's the truest form of missionary work. You're being a true vessel of God by going out here as a former sinner, as a former person of the world, seeing what the world had to offer, being able to survive and be smart enough to know when to fall back so you can make it to this point, and then instilling those same memories and experience upon the next generation. They need to know, because you can't stop them from doing it, but you need to know, hey, you liable. Yeah, if you're going to continue down this path, my brother, you liable to fall upon this, which is going to lead you to this. If you don't go from this to this, you're going to go from this to this to this. And if that don't happen, then you might end up going through this. And if that happens, you're going through this.
And if you make it out, you're lucky.
Alec, like Beast, bro, like for real, when I talk to kids, and even when talking to adults, man, like the first thing I always do is to let people know, man, I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I ain't perfect. I still struggle with everyday struggles every day. We all do. But then another word I heard you mention was comfortable. I always mention to people, man, the only way I'm comfortable is being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not never comfortable, bro. You can't never be comfortable, because the first time you become comfortable, that means you lacking on something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not on point about something. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to stay, bro, uncomfortable just to be comfortable. Because when you uncomfortable, you're on point about everything going on. You know what I'm saying? You watching every little move, man. You know what I'm saying? You taking in everything that go on around you, man. So that's what it is. We got to get people out of the stigma and the state of being comfortable, bro. Yeah. We got to get people being uncomfortable. And if you're not uncomfortable with the things that's going on around us in our city,
it ain't right.
It ain't right, bro.
It ain't right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just being honest about it, it ain't right. You know, it's a lot going on.
So with this daddy duty thing, man, it's like we preaching to the youth, man, and we trying to get everybody
to help ourselves.
Yeah. Like basically, we going back to taking the village to raise the children, man. Taking all of us to raise the community and make the community. That's what we got to get back to. Because like you were saying, bro, like every child is not gonna take in what we say, and they ain't gonna take heed to what we saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, we can't save everybody, but you got to instill in people that it's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like point out
and see, when we say we need people like these men right here, I work in the mental health field in group homes. And group homes is one or two houses. You either got a house that is full of children who are messed up by God's design and man's flaw. Mm-hmm. There's something on the genetic level that is messed up with them, physically, emotionally, psychologically. That's why they're there. They cannot honestly function on their own.
Right.
Then you have homes which are filled with the children that these brothers are trying to save. Who by the time they get to me, already got at least one PO, one pending court case, one pending court appearance, 2 prescriptions for antipsychotics, 1 prescription to make sure they'll go to sleep, at least 1, and then another mood inhibitor. That's by the time they get to me in the house. And then from there, I still try to do what they do. But unfortunately, by the time it's to me, I have to put more of a realistic spin on it. So it's like, look, man, it's my job to get you as functional as you can once you're 18. But once you're 18, you go before the judge. And the judge got to figure out whether your mind can actually work for you or not. If you don't want to keep living in this house and living in a house like this the rest of your life, heed my words. Listen to what I'm saying and understand I'm saying it for your benefit. If not, the judge is going to tell you got to keep living in a house like this. And if you keep acting up the way you acting, you're going to end up back in a room with some rub on and a jacket that fits you quite nicely.
Right.
So what you seeing these brothers, you always saying we need community involvement. You're looking at it. But this is not what you want to see. Because most people that might be randomly turning on right now, they'll look and see 2 brothers in blue and red and assume gangbangers or former gangbangers or some kind of street affiliation. And at that point, half of them would turn their heads off. And you the motherfuckers that be screaming, "Why my child ain't right," or "My child running the streets." Your child is the ones that will be affected, will be helped by them, or will be monitored by me. It's your choice. You can
see, bro.
encourage brothers like this.
You said something so real, bro. Like when you said that right there, because people don't understand it's gonna take people like us to unify and come together, you know what I'm saying, to change things on the outside. It's gonna take people in blue and red, purple, green, stuff like that, man, to come together because we the type of people that the kids are listening to. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take people like us to install the right things in them to change the future. So when people see, like you said, they log in, they see us in red and blue and automatically want to turn up their nose, some type of street affiliation or whatever, man. I mean, if they don't take the time to get to know us, they don't know what we about. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, then the main ones that would be benefited immensely from individuals like yourselves. And there's also the same ones that come back later on and dick ride after y'all done got a couple TV appearances and end up taking pictures with the right a couple amount of celebrities. I'm like, who these? These are they're not street thugs. They're individuals who rose up from the ghetto and made something, and they're giving back to the community. Yeah, what they said they was doing in the beginning when you first saw them.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I'm telling you, just hearing that. Once again, can y'all be a part of the panel on this show? I'm just offering people to just be a panelist on this show, but can you let people know about send out the information to your organization?
I know you said that jokingly, but that most co-founder of the network, we both extend that to you.
Yes,
not just as representatives of Daddy Duty, but just as fellow representatives of the Black mind and the honest Black voice.
We'll do.
We with it, man. Like I say, whenever y'all do this, you just let us know, man, and we'll hop on here. If you this every week thing, man. Like,
yes, sir.
It don't take nothing for us to get together, man. Because, like I said, it's the type of stuff it's gonna take to save the world, man. From the stuff that's going on, man. It's gonna take people to unify like this for people everywhere, for somebody in his community to see it, people in your community see, even though we're in the same area. People in our, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, you already know how it is. East side don't really deal with South side like that.
It's all about networking, man. It's about networking, and we networking for a better cause. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got to continue to keep doing. Just like we talking right now, man. I got my Facebook page on live, recording everything we saying and all we doing. So people on that couldn't log into the brother site, they see what we doing.
Still hear what you got to say.
Still hear what you guys. And I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a presentation of second edition, well, the second showing of Beast Community. Now we head on to travel. I'm talking about African study travel with Teach. Teach, you are up next. Take it away.
Hit him with the intro.
Good evening, everyone. I'm making sure because we're actually over time. But I just want to say that the trip to Tanzania, the one that I just came off of, is being offered again, and it is on my travel group. If you're interested in seeing how other people live, other people that look like you, that have the same swag as you, in a COVID-free zone, that trip is being offered again for Tanzania in October 11th through the 23rd. So look on my page, the African Roots and Study Travel Tour, for more information. It was awesome event. And like I say, anytime you have an opportunity to go outside of your borders, you learn about yourself. In your mind, you thinking you're going to learn about other people, but it's when you are faced with these other people that you begin to see the contrast, and you begin to see your weaknesses and or strengths. And that's when the true learning and growth and development begins, when you are able to contrast what you know or what you think you know to how other people, to the interaction with other people on the other side of the world. So again, I said I was going to keep this nice and short because we are over time with the show. But Tanzania is a wonderful place. One of the things that I experienced there was total greenery. Now, you know, I have been in several different rainforests, and Tanzania is not considered part of the rainforest, but it was, everything is alive in Tanzania. Everywhere you look, there is growth. Everything just grows. They have the sweetest pineapples, the sweetest bananas that I have tasted from around the world. And again, that coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but to taste the raw coffee bean, to go through the process of drying out the coffee and actually breaking the hulls off of the shells, and then roasting the coffee, grinding it, and then brewing it. My God, that was a good cup of coffee. So until next time, Kwaheri ya kukuona. That's in Kiswahili, the language of Tanzania, and it means goodbye until we meet again.
Well, Teach, we are close to one time, so but we're about to go into the final thoughts. First of all, I'd like to thank our guests on the show. First of all, I'd like to thank our panel and also people that tune in as well. So let's go into the final thought. I'm going to go ahead and start, and then we will let our guests be second, because I don't want to keep falling behind y'all and try to step my game up when it comes to the final thought and all that stuff. It ain't going to happen no more. And that goes double for you, Teach. But let's go ahead into the final thought show. Oh snap! Hold up, y'all not in this final thought. Get out here! Can't believe this. Everybody want to take my shine. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet to give my panel enough time to do their final thought before my time here 7:30. Y'all time think 10:30. So let me go ahead and make this quick. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the show. We're gonna be doing some deep diving in a lot of our shows from now on. These are the type of conversations and solutions that we're talking about. But also, we want you, the audience member, the viewer, to also let us know what you want us to talk about. We want to talk about all those topics and those trending topics that impact our world, that impact our lives, and we will talk about it. Don't forget to go on our Facebook page, Fade to Black. Click notification so when we go live, you will know. Also, engage not only just on the show, but also engage also on the page as well. This show has been I can try to put in words on how this show went. I appreciate everybody, even though we had our differences of views, we still met in the middle and we still came to an agreement on a lot of things and a lot of solutions on this show that you will not find nowhere else. You will hear about more gossip or somebody saying that their idea is better than theirs on other shows with platforms like this. You will not find that here. We may disagree, but guess what? We will meet in the middle and come to a compromise. More than just a compromise, but a solution. We also don't force you to do these solutions. We don't tell you what you're doing is wrong and what you should be doing and what not to do. We also give you the empowerment to take a look at yourself and your values, or maybe it's just as they say, come to Jesus moment where you have to think for yourself and be like, you know what? Maybe I'm doing something right, or maybe I just need to change something in my world to make it better. This is why we're here for. And then also to put these brothers that was on the show, just like our previous guests, and also all of our guests that we had even in 2020, to give them a platform, to get their voices, their organizations out there, in case you never heard of it, to get them out there, to know that they're here and that not only do they need your support, but also that if you need them, they are there. If you also have a platform that you want to get on the show to be heard, just go to our Facebook page. Once again, Fade to Black. Go go press the notification when we go live and engage. That will do it for me. Our guest, take it away.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts, man. Man, this was a great thing, man. Fade to Black, man. Beast, man, inviting us this, man. We learned a lot today. Yeah. Like, man, we got a chance to talk about, man, daddy duty, borough bread, clothing line, heavy-handed tribe, man. We all we got, man. Family.
Really appreciate the opportunity to be able to put everything on a pedestal, a platform. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be said, needs to be heard. A lot of stuff that's being done low-key, and people that's making moves. Glad to be a part of it. I appreciate my brother over here, all the rest of the family, the brothers and sisters that help.
Appreciate y'all for having us, man. Like, this was so great, man. Learned a lot today, man. Sure. And we'll be back again next week with it, man.
Yes, sir. Black excellence, y'all.
Black excellence.
Definitely thank y'all for coming out, man. I've always had to be the type of person that had to show better than I could tell. So I just showed all you black conscious folk and all you nouveau woke ass niggas how to be black and support black. First off, you start something black. Then you link up with other black owned entities. Not on no shady shit. Openly, sincerely. I have a platform or a venue. Would you like to get on? It's that simple. Since this show, you have already heard about Cheddar Boy Popcorn, Sky Zone Society. Now you've just heard about Daddy Duty. You've also heard about Thoroughbred as well as Heavy Handed. These are all black owned entities. So don't ever fix your face and say black folk ain't out here hustling. We out here trying to make something for ourselves. And also don't ever fix your mouth or your mind to make the inclination of a thought that black folk can't come together for something positive and good. Because I, as well as the panel, as well as everyone you've seen on the show, has just shown you differently. So take heed and take notes. Y'all have a good night, and I hope y'all enjoyed the show.
Okay, my final thoughts. This is the end of the week. This is the end of the first week of 2021. And a lot of people are saying already that they don't like the way 2021 is going, the direction. But I say this, make the best of it. 2020 caused us to be on lockdown. Many people lost their jobs. They had to find other ways to earn a living. And so it brought out creativity. And so that was the silver lining in 2020. So for 2021, let us also make the best of it. Each and every day that the sun rises is a gift. So let us look to the gift in the morning and let us appreciate that gift and be creative with that gift, because life is what you make it. Because as long as you're alive, guess what? You're alive. When you're dead, you are dead and you live no more. So let's make the best of it, no matter how dire your situation may seem. This is when your creativity comes out and shows the character that's deep within you. And sometimes we have to go through adverse situations to find that diamond in us. So I encourage each and every one of you to look deep within your situation and work your way out. Let's work it out. Let's work it out for 2021. Let's work it out. And again, good night. Until we see you again on Monday.
Say that again, T. Say that again. Once again, I'd like to thank the panel. I'd like to thank our guests for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Friday. And also, once again, there's a disease out there. Wear a mask. Stay safe out there.
And if you need a mask, you can check out the clothing apparels of Heavy Handed,
Tribe,
or Sky Zone. Just in case you want to get flashy with it. You know what's black folk. We got to be stylish with everything.
Hey, so once again to your two brothers, could y'all send me all your information so I can put it on our page so we can put y'all business out there. So once again, thank y'all for coming on the show. Like I said, y'all welcome anytime. Sound like y'all want to come on the show next week. We will talk to you more about that. But great week, great start off to the hashtag Fade to Black shows for the first week of 2021. This is only going to keep getting better, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. As for our guest, Anita Joe, aka Teach, Peach Johnson, and me, your host, Donna Alamonte. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Have a great weekend. And once again, please stay safe out there. Y'all have a good one.
Peace and love.
Peace.
Y'all later. Bye.